Amy, let me tell you about a magical place that is so exactly designed to be enclosed space, year-round fun for the whole family that I bet you already know what I'm going to say before I even say the name. Let's say it together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Great Wolf Lodge. You got it, Amy.
My kids loved Great Wolf Lodge when we went. You probably already know that it has a huge indoor water park with a wave pool, lazy river, a bunch of massive water slides. But then your pack can hit the other attractions because, wait, there's more.
Great Wolf Lodge has adventure-packed attractions like Magi Quest, a live-action game kids can play throughout the lodge, plus the Northern Lights Arcade. Spent some quality time there, so your kid who loves the lazy river and your kid who loves fantasy games will both have a great time.
Great Wolf Lodge also offers great dining options and complimentary daily events like nightly dance parties, all under one roof. Unpack the car once and you're settled in to have fun. And with 22 lodges across the country, you're always a short drive away from adventure.
We've both had such great times at Great Wolf Lodge, so bring your pack together at a lodge near you. Learn more at greatwolf.com and strengthen the pack.
You know that thing where you get an amazing pair of shoes at a really great price and want to tell everyone about it? Yeah, so do we. Here at Designer Shoe Warehouse, we'll give you something to brag about, like the latest styles from brands you love, or the trends everyone's obsessing over, or shoes that make you feel like, well, you. So go ahead, show off a little. Find shoes that get you at prices that get your budget. Head to your DSW store or DSW.com today. DSW, let us surprise you.
I'm like a never nude, but for my feet.
What fresh hell?
Laughing in the face of motherhood.
I never knew this was something that you could have a second point of view about.
With Margaret Abels
and Amy Wilson.
There is no acceptable use of the phrase a nacho.
A podcast that solves today's parenting dilemmas
so you don't have to.
Did your spouse just get here, like from another planet?
Hey, everybody. Welcome to What Fresh Hell, Laughing in the Face of Motherhood. This is Amy.
And this is Margaret. And today we are taking a suggestion for an entire topic from our Facebook group, Amy.
Oh my gosh, imagine that.
Our Facebook group, you should know by now, is at facebook.com/groups/whatfreshhellcast. It is a hilarious community of moms and a smattering of dads who are having hilarious conversations, and it's awesome. And Jacqueline recently posted, I had a fun idea. Let's talk about the not necessary but consistent family debates in our households. They don't really matter, but somehow they always come up. For example, my husband and I were at dinner, and our debate each time is it good manners or not to pre-stack the dishes at the end of the meal for the server to pick up? Or do you leave them alone and let them take them and stack them however they wish? Amy, the correct answer is?
I feel like I need to know what kind of restaurant. Like, are you at Five Guys or are you at, Le Bonger? Like,
if you're at Le Bonger, do not stack the plates. They will be offended.
Yeah. The Boulanger, I think.
Madame, at Le Bonger, we do not stack the plates. Please leave Le Bonger immediately. You are an offensive beast.
If it's like Panera, I guess Panera is self-busing. I'm going to say if you spent under $15 a person for your meal, you can stack the plates. Otherwise, no.
I'm not a fan. I was a server, as you know, for a long time. I've waited a lot of tables in my day. I've got family in the restaurant business. I'm not a fan of plate stacking. And I just find there are many problems with plate stacking, Amy. I don't want to do a whole episode on this, but I'm going to try to be brief. I find that certain people start to stack the plates while I'm still eating. And that is, to me, like horror. Can't stand it. Like, what are you doing stacking your plates while I'm still enjoying my meal?
No, yeah.
And in general, it's a lot of clanging. It's a lot of banging. Now, I will say, so Mackenzie says she always thought it was nice to stack the plates. Now we've opened a can of worms. Bethany, who's a former server as well, we do it to make it easy on them. She's a plate stacker. But then Steph, I think this is getting to your Le Bonger point. I used to think you should stack the plates until I had nice business dinners. Now I'm aware it depends on the environment of the restaurant. More casual, stack them, fancy, no. Jesse says we always stack them. I think this can go either way. I'm a non-stacker. I don't like all the commotion, but I will say, and this was universally recognized, if you eat with kids, clean up the table yourself. So like, take a napkin and put all the goldfish crackers on a plate. Like, don't leave that hurricane wreckage of several kids at the table. That's rude.
All right. I feel like we fervently agree on this one.
I have occasionally asked when my 3 children were very little if I could borrow a broom to clean up around our table.
At Le Manger?
Not at Le Manger. I was like, excusez-moi, est-ce que vous avez une broom parce que my children are slobs? No, I did not don't take your children to Le Manger.
Well, there you go. I mean, we don't really need to debate about that either. What were they doing there anyway?
Amy, let's establish, just in case anyone is confused, that what we are talking about is basically 2 kinds of people. Family debates. What is the correct? There are only 2 choices. There are 2 doors. Sometimes we say it's a hallway. No, this is 2 doors. There's a correct answer and a wrong answer.
Yes. Sometimes that's good, right?
You and I don't want to revisit past hurts, but we have had an ongoing debate, or just we have a strong difference of opinion about whether or not you should wear shoes in the house.
Yes.
You're a non-shoe in the house person, and I'm a please don't make me take off my shoes person.
Yeah. Can talk more about why you really want your if you have socks on also, what's the big deal?
I never have bare feet. I'm like a never nude, but for my feet. And it's funny because I have a child.
Yes. But socks is still bare feet?
Yes.
Okay, see? I want to roll the debate back to that. Does socks mean bare feet? Yes, it does.
Slippers are fine. So like if I had to come to your house more often than I did, I would start bringing slippers because I don't like the sensation of walking around in socks. I need shoes. And it's funny because I have a child who has this same thing. So it's clearly there's a genetic component. Like he will not come out of his room without shoes on. He always has shoes on. He, like myself, the shoes only leave your feet when you lift your feet to put them into bed.
This is my dad, too. Like when growing up, my family of origin, like you came downstairs to breakfast without something on your feet, quote unquote, and socks were not going to cut it.
Why didn't you learn your dad's genius lesson? Like, what is wrong with, why did you go so far astray from your wonderful father's words?
I live in a city of, 7, 8 million people? Then the streets are filthy. So in New York City, it's just what's done. You go over to somebody's apartment and everybody, you don't even talk about it. You just take your shoes off. Although if you went over for dinner and you have on a dress and high heels and then you kind of leave it on, you gotta zhuzh. There's a little bit of a dance there. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I understand this is something that people have different opinions about, but the people who have different opinions than me are wrong. I don't know. I don't want to take my shoes off. We've done this already. We're not going to go back down this.
We're going to agree to disagree.
We're going to agree to disagree. Okay, let's talk about another heated debate. So this is a thread from the podcast that you can find. We'll put it in the show notes to see all the different takes on these topics. People have strong opinions. Amy, answer the following question. Are the dishes fully washed before they go in the dishwasher?
I'm going to annoy you by being I'm going to have answers to this.
No, it's 2 doors. No,
they do not get fully washed. They might get don't even have to wash them, actually.
It's to sanitize. It should be called a dish sanitizer. It is not a dishwasher. And this is a debate I have had with many people in my home, visitors to my home. I realize this is something people do, but once you put one load of disgusting food things in the dishwashers are in forever. You might as well throw it away. Dishwasher, it's not a dishwasher, it's a sanitizer.
I'm here to tell you that that's not true.
They smell horrible it's so gross.
Oh, I have a fix for that. I'll find it. I'll put it in the show notes. When they get that weird smell, there's something you can run with them. But you were saying otherwise, just wash your dishes first. But see, you have a problem with the sink. You have cleaning out the sink drain. You wouldn't really have to deal with that if you just put your dirty dishes in the dishwasher.
No.
I mean, it's sooner or later, I guess you got to clean out the dishwasher drain. And that's, really going there.
Disgusting. Oh, the idea that my lovely glasses that I drink water out of have food bits sloshing around in them in there is gross to me.
I have this I live in an apartment, so you have to get all kinds of weird appliances because they can't handle, regular Kenmore, huge washers and dryers. So I have this fancy German dishwasher that uses almost no water, but it takes 3.5 hours to do a load of dishes, and they're pretty clean after. I think I could probably keep doing what I'm doing, but I don't live with you, so I guess that's a good thing for me.
Yeah, no, you're not allowed to ever wash dishes in my house. This was from Angela, who says we're divided over whether or not you have to wash the dishes before putting them in the dishwasher. I said the dishwasher is made to wash the dishes, so you shouldn't have to hand wash them. However, husband feels the dishwasher is just for sanitizing. Angela, you're married to an angel. who I'm sure is extremely handsome and wonderful because he's a very smart person. He is correct.
The debate in my house is, do the dishes have to be facing towards the spray arm thing that spins around? The answer is yes. Or can they be put haphazardly, even facing away from the spray arm and not rinsed out? The answer is no, because they don't get clean. But there are people in my household who would think otherwise.
I have never, ever had that thought in my life. I don't even think I understand where the spray arm is because the dishes are clean. They're clean.
They were already clean before you started. Yes, you can have gunky dishes if you put them so they face the middle of the dishwasher. So when the water sprays around, it's getting hit. If you have them facing towards the outside of the dishwasher, the water doesn't get in there. This only matters if you don't wash your dishes before you wash your dishes.
Amy, answer this question with a yes or no. I cannot have any more of this middle ground. You got to get off the fence and you've got to get on one team or the other.
Okay. All right.
Is it acceptable to call someone after 8 p.m. at night?
No.
Yeah. I mean, no.
It's not acceptable to call someone.
You're not wrong.
Right?
I do think we are moving past. I have a friend who I know this about her, that like she's always like, whatever it is, Facebook, whatever, however I know this about her. She's like, why would people call people? It's so rude. Like, why wouldn't you? Every call could just be a text. And the other day I was having a dilemma with something, and it was a dilemma that involved the field that she worked in. And I wanted to talk it over with someone. And I was like, she's the right person to talk this over with. But I did send her a text and I was like, I don't mean to be rude, but would it be okay if I called you? And she said it was fine. And I then called her on the phone. But yeah, who calls anyone?
I mean, I still have a landline, and it's gotten to the point now where my landline, you know how you have like a special like spammy email address that you use when you're like entering a giveaway and you don't want to be getting emails from this place? You have like a side email, your Finsta. But
that's your landline.
Like, I feel like my home phone number landline is basically like my fake phone number at this point. Like, don't try to reach me there.
Well, we have a landline, but it doesn't have a ringer. It doesn't ring.
Yeah. Like, I turn off our answering machine when we go away because I don't want people to think that they reached me by leaving a message there. I'm wondering right now, I'm thinking out loud here, people, why I still have a landline. And it's because there's so many spam phone calls, and like the good people at AT&T should have gotten involved a lot sooner on there not being telemarketers, because now it makes people not want to have landlines anymore.
I have a landline to call 911 if I ever need it. That's why the only reason I have a landline.
Yeah, and it's an expensive option, but yeah.
So I have a phone. Honestly, I'm making a sign with my hand. It's like a little clam, you know. It's just two bananas that fit together. I don't know. It's a phone.
Yeah, we got it.
But it's an oldie-timey. My kid was trying to describe. She's like, Mom, what's that oldie-timey kind of phone called? And I'm like, oh, it has like a hook on the side and you hang the earpiece up and then you talk into the mouthpiece. And she's like, no, it's like you pick it up, but it goes into the wall. And I was like, I think the oldie-timey phone you're describing is a phone. Like, she just meant a phone that plugs into the wall, like any kind of phone. No, what she said really was, she's like, it's got a holder and you could walk around with it. She was describing a cordless phone. Like, that was the oldie-timey phone.
I believe you mean, when you're talking about the two bananas, you mean what was called a princess phone, and a bit of landline marketing. I don't know why it was called that, but you had a princess phone if you had that sort of clam-shaped one. Mm-hmm.
And they fit together. It's not the kind with like the big clunky earpiece that is on a cord. Anyway, that's why we have phones. But don't call anyone ever, and definitely don't call them after 8 p.m. Molly.
Yeah.
We agree with, I think, you. Yeah, your husband says 9:30 is fine. He's a monster. He's wrong. Don't ever call anyone, but definitely not after 8.
No, I mean, usually, most nights, my husband or I are like under the covers at 9:30, like getting ready for night-night. It's too late.
Agree.
How early is too early to call someone?
9 a.m. I feel like it's 9 and 8. That's acceptable. But again, don't call at all.
Yeah, okay.
Michelle is taking us back to an earlier debate. I feel like this, like, do we have to clean, or aren't there things and people that do that for us? She wants to know hotel room etiquette. I like to throw away all the major trash, put used towels in the tub, and generally tidy things up. My spouse thinks I'm incredibly silly and thinks I should just let housekeeping do the job.
Oh, this is me, Michelle. I'm pretty neat anyway, so my hotel room that I leave behind is pretty neat. But if like I was with my whole family, I would take the like 8 wet towels that my kids had put everywhere and put them all in the bathtub. Yeah, I would do that. Do you?
Yeah, I'm going to say we're all Team Michelle here. This is just...
Don't debate about this.
No. And if you don't, please leave a big tip if you leave a big mess. We once had I'm not going to go into it because people were so thankful for us on the Mom Rock Bottom episode for not going into the vomiting and pooping too much. They really appreciated it. But I will say that we once had a stomach flu going on while we were in a family hotel room. And I cleaned up and then I left a huge tip. It's no one's job to clean up your wet towels off the floor. Come on. I mean, I guess it is someone's job, but make it a little easier for them. You're a human being. Come on.
I mean, kind of, but
let's do Reese's or Reese's. The pieces.
People say Reese's Pieces. Do people do that?
Wait a minute. Of course. What do you say?
Reese's Pieces. It rhymes with pieces. It's the branding.
It's Reese's.
Nope. It's Reese's Pieces. Listen to the commercial.
Reese's.
Guys, I'm going to go right to YouTube in this one. Reese's Pieces. When you wake up, imagine your surprise when you realize.
Reese's. What do I? Reese's.
Reese's peanut butter flavor inside Reese's Pieces.
You are deep into the Reese's world, Amy. The Reese's world.
Yeah. I didn't even know there was another side of this. Julie says she has to do some yoga when she hears people say Reese's.
Wow.
Pieces.
I had no idea this was such a hot button issue. Reese's. Do you have any Reese's? That's what I would say. And I am not going to change to make you people happy.
All right.
We'll be right back.
Hellions, it's time for some spring cleaning, and I don't just mean the coat closets. Doing your financial spring cleaning can actually be super easy when you let Monarch do your financial spring cleaning for you. One dashboard that gets your entire financial life organized. No more clutter, no more mess, no more logins scattered everywhere, just accounts, investments, property, and more, all in one place. Get your first year of Monarch for half off, just $50 with promo code FRESH. Monarch allows you to look not only at what you've already spent, but also to plan for the future. With Monarch, you can set savings goals, plan for big purchases, and notice spending trends before they become a problem. I can generate cash flow reports that show me what we spent this quarter, this month, what we're probably going to spend next month, and feel prepared, organized, and knowing how to plan for the future. No more surprises and a lot more clarity. Try Monarch. Use code FRESH at monarch.com to get your first year half off at just $50. That's 50% off your first year at monarch.com with code FRESH.
Amy, when I'm having a good hair day, it usually makes my whole day better. And that's why on every day, I'm taking Nutrafol.
Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement brand. And it's the #1 hair growth supplement brand personally used by dermatologists. Nutrafol's hair growth supplements are peer-reviewed, NSF certified for sport, and clinically tested.
Nutrafol offers multiple formulas for men and women, tailored to different life stages and lifestyle factors, so you get support that's actually right for you. Adding Nutrafol to your daily routine is easy. Order online, no prescription needed, with automated deliveries and free shipping to keep you on track.
Let your hair be one less thing to worry about. See visibly thicker, stronger, faster-growing hair in 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol.
For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you visit Nutrafol.com and enter promo code LAUGHING.
That's Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code LAUGHING. My favorite skincare products actually feel more like self-care, like they're so nice to put on and they smell so good that I'm actually happy when I get to that part of my day. And I swear that is how I feel about Osea's anti-aging body balm.
Amy, you are usually the lotions and potions queen on this podcast, but I have to say, hard agree.
Osea's anti-aging body balm is a liquid silk body balm that combines the lasting hydration of a lotion with the firming power of a serum, leaving skin smoother and firmer.
This body balm is clinically tested and designed to deliver visible results you can see and feel.
So we've gotten to use this product for a couple of months now, and I swear I have really noticed firmer and smoother skin, like on the back of my hands. It's like getting a mini spa treatment from head to toe.
Get a spring-worthy glow with clean, clinically tested skincare from Osea. And right now, we have a special discount just for our listeners.
Get 10% off your first order site-wide with code FRESH at OseaMalibu.com.
That's 10% off your first order with code FRESH at OseaMalibu.com.
Oh, this is one I feel strongly about, guys. Does the washer door need to stay open between loads? I should be more specific.
What does that even mean?
I have a front loader washer, like a top loader is fine. You can keep it down. But the front loader washers, if you keep that door locked, because it's like super double locked because it's a front loader, the water would come out. So it has an incredible seal. Do you keep that door closed and locked when it's not laundry day? Or do you let it stay ajar?
So I would say I do. I have no opinion on this, but we've recently had a problem that our entire door has molded. So I guess I should have left it open.
Yeah, front loader. In fact, yeah, I even have like a sign on it. So if like somebody else, if you have people visiting us or whatever, like the washer door, leave it open. Otherwise, you get this mildew smell after like 15 minutes that, as you were saying before about the dishwasher, like do it once and it's never the same.
Yeah, I had never occurred to me, but like we are in the process right now of replacing our ring that keeps the thing closed because it's very moldy.
Yeah. Leave it open.
So I guess I should have left it open, but that's one of those things. Like, it's also hilarious how I was thinking we bought a house and the guy came to show us the house. And for whatever reason, he was like, this door always stays open because otherwise, like, something dreadful happens, like the water backs up or whatever it was. And then by habit, I walked through the door and I shut it behind me. And he was like, that door always stays open. And like, he really startled me. Like, it was a stranger yelling at me. And I was like, sorry. And I think of it pretty much every time I go through that door. Like, I was like, wow, that guy really kind of went nuts on me. But like, it was clearly like the cause of his life that this door stayed open for a magical reason. Now, follow up, I don't remember why. And I often leave the door shut. So I often think like, am I like opening the portal to hell? Because that guy seemed really, really sure that this door had to stay open.
Living on the edge.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was about. Let me take you to an outlier here, Amy. Ashley wants to know whether it's called nachos or a nacho. For example, when you order the previously mentioned appetizer at a restaurant, would you say, I'd love the nachos or I'll take a nacho?
I never knew this was something that you could have a second point of view about. They're called nachos.
No, there is no second point of view. This is insane. It's called nachos. I mean, I believe that Ashley, again, I hate to break this news to people through a podcast because someone should sit down with them gently and explain that you are married to a psychopath. Like, what kind of person believes that a nacho is the correct way to reference a plate of chips with cheese on them?
I'm imagining the person taking the order like, does this guy have one single chip with cheese sauce on it? Like, that's what I would be. You want just the one?
Angela also made me actually LOL, an overused expression that actually happened when I read this comment. Angela came in and said, we do now have a disagreement about nachos because my husband read this and decided to stand in solidarity with the men who order a nacho.
Because it's the guy, right? It's the guy standing on that weird hill that he's going to die on.
I mean, if y'all menfolk want to get together and start saying a nacho, I mean, go be psychos because this is completely abnormal. This is not a debate. There is only one correct answer. And if I was waiting tables and someone was like, can I have a nacho? I'd be like, get out of what was our restaurant called, Amy?
Le Bouger.
Le Bouger. Get out with you. They probably don't serve nachos at Le Bouger, but...
A nacho.
Anyway, there is no acceptable use of the phrase a nacho. Let's make sure we're clear.
Most of these family debates, it seems to me, have one clear side. Laura wants to know, how do you fold a shirt? She says, I like shirts folded with the middle of the shirt facing up. Yeah, like at the gap, like yes. And her husband likes when the shirt is folded in half, shoulder to shoulder.
I couldn't even picture what this was. The way I fold a shirt is that I hold it up, I fold the arm parts inward, and then I fold it in half.
Back, yeah. That's how people fold shirts. That's right.
That's the normal way.
That's the right way to fold a shirt.
So again, we have a psychopath on the loose in society who is, for some reason, putting the shoulders of shirts together and then folding them in half.
Yeah, you don't have to debate about that, Laura.
No, that marriage can't be saved. Just move on with your life. I'm sorry if you were trying to raise children together, but no, that's not okay.
This is something worth arguing about. Does chocolate go with mint? In Jill's house, 2 out of the 5 people who live there, so 40% say yes, chocolate goes with mint. 60% say no way, and she says it comes up a lot.
I know the answer to this question, Amy, and I'm glad you asked.
Okay.
I'm glad you brought this to me. It's something I've given a lot of thought to. The only acceptable combination of chocolate and mint is mint chocolate chip ice cream. Every other combination of chocolate and mint is unacceptable and disgusting.
What about those like Andes after dinner mints? Oh, I love those.
Horrible. Don't even mention those candies to me. Andes candies, don't even come at me. I would confess to crimes before I would eat an Andes Candies mint.
But you wouldn't say like Andes candies. Like it rhymes. That when they come up with the name, it rhymes.
Wow.
I'm just using it as an example. There you go. Like I love a good rhyme.
I would never eat Andes candies, Amy. Never. I would never do such a thing.
Chocolate does go with mint, but it goes with peanut butter better.
A million times better, to the point that, like, if you're eating chocolate and mint outside of mint chocolate chip ice cream, I can't deal with you. Amy, I mean, again, this is one that I feel like, what? Anna wants to know whether the device used to give battery to your phone is called a charger that charges or a recharger that recharges. We argued about it tonight.
Did your spouse just get here, like from another planet?
Yeah. From Mars? No, this is the kind of thing. This is more of a husband crime, which I feel like we could do an entire episode on this husband crime. And my husband is the world's greatest criminal in this world, which is that he will take, as you like to say, let me take the other side of that.
Yes.
I believe you have one of these in your house as well.
Yes.
He will decide on some like esoteric thing that is this. Like, it's really not a charger because it was already charged. It's a recharger. And he's technically correct, but it's like, we live on Earth, dude. Like, come on. I get that you have figured out that like you are technically correct. My husband, and this is like when I finally snap and I end up on that show Snapped, it will be because I'm like, oh, there's like a hedgehog in the yard. And he'll be like, technically that's a gopher. And that's when I will murder him. And I'm going to feel bad about it because generally he's a nice guy. But his ability to take a technicality and run with it.
You need to beat him about the head and face with his phone recharger.
Yeah, I'll be like, exactly. Like, I hope you enjoy the feeling of this phone recharger striking you about the face and neck. We legendarily, I believe we were engaged. We've been married, I think, 13 years now. So this was a long time ago. We were playing Trivial Pursuit with his family, an activity we can never do again because it was so ill-advised.
Because he knows everything? And does he know the answers to everything already?
The final clue that gave us the win was name the crystallized salt that gives flavor to certain foods. And I was like, the answer is MSG. And he's like, no. MSG is not a crystallized salt. It's actually, and like he had a whole thing about, he's a nerd, basically, is the word I'm looking for. So he had a whole thing about how it's not technically a crystallized salt. So that was not technically the correct answer. And I mean, we went to bed not speaking, and like occasionally he will still bring it up. Like he's that guy who's like the recharger thing. Anna, you have my sympathies. It's clearly a charger. I get it, but run away.
But this is where the me thing comes in. I need to know, what did the back of the Trivial Pursuit card say? Was the answer MSG?
Of course it said MSG. That was the correct answer. But like, I believe I had to physically restrain him from writing an email to the company that produces Trivial Pursuit. Like, I was like, it's time to let this go. Dear sirs, I believe I have a bone to pick with you on the topic of crystallized salt products. And whatever. He's a wonderful person in many ways, but his tragic flaw that keeps him humble is that he likes to get into that. What is it called? He likes to take the other side.
This is one I really would like to know the answer to, because I'm often not sure.
I'm sure I know it, so lay it on me.
Cindy's family debates about how the sheets go. Does the top sheet go pretty side up, and then when you fold it down, it's backwards? Or do you put it down backwards so when you fold it down, you see a little strip of pretty?
I have a very strong opinion about this. But I will admit that I have now debated this with my spouse and others. I believe it is the only example where I feel like this could go either way, and either way is acceptable.
Yes.
But I believe strongly that the pretty side goes up, and then you fold down to reveal a small strip of the underside of the sheet.
I am changing my mind as I think about it because I make beds this way. Then I was like, okay, but then when you get out of bed and, your unmade bed, I mean, we can have opinions about unmade beds, but then it's like pattern to pattern. I see just like the pretty dots. I think I'm changing my mind as I'm thinking about this, but I don't have a strong opinion.
I agree with you. I can understand the argument that you put the underside up, and then because the first thing you see when you pull the covers down is the pretty reveal of the right side of the sheet. I will allow this to go either way. I do believe it is the only issue today that we discussed that I will come out as either way is acceptable.
Although I have over time just moved to like white sheets, white towels. Like don't bother with the patterns and then it doesn't matter.
Keep it simple, stupid. Yeah. I went to white socks, but I like a pretty sheet. I like a jolly sheet.
A patterned sheet.
I don't have a lot going on in my life. I like a little jolly sheet.
That little hit of joy.
Amy, here's one from my own personal archive. Now, you live in New York City, but imagine in a house, if you had a house. Is the garage an extra room in your house used for activities and massive amounts of storage? Or is it the place where the cars go?
It's the former. My in-laws' garage is filled with, nice rugs that don't fit our new living room, but it's too nice to throw away, like in Christmas decorations. Like that's what the garage turns into. And also the car, if you can be very, Chinese puzzle about it and fit everything.
Yeah. So we have come out after lots of different efforts at my house that we have a 2-car garage and only 1 car goes in it. And the other side is storage.
Single bay for storage, single bay for car storage.
Yeah. And we try, I would say twice a year, we knock it all down and we get rid of a lot of stuff. My dad recently moved and we ended up with a lot of his furniture and all the photo book, so we ended up with a ton of storage stuff and it's on my spring cleaning list. The one thing is I do like to get into a warmer car that I don't like to go out and get into that like dead cold car that's outside. We've made a happy piece. 1 car in and then the spare. Well, now that we're both at home all the time, it's like we don't really even need 2 cars.
Yeah. That's a larger debate.
But I would say garage storage generally. Amy, animals in the bed or no animals in the bed?
Well, no animals in my bed. That is for sure. But if my kids have our dog Marshmallow, they take turns having her in their beds. Like, I guess you do you. Yuck. That's my feeling.
Yeah, I am so opposed to animals in the bed. But I will say our cat does sleep with my husband. This cat and I have a whole relationship going on. And it is one, as my son likes to say of the Yankees, I don't like them, but I respect them. That is how I feel with my cat. I don't like her, but we respect each other. She would never come in the bed if I'm in it. We don't know where she is in the house for hours at a time. And the second my husband lays down, she's like, pop. And she just jumps right in. She's got a little spot next to him that she likes to sleep in. And it's kind of adorable, but she knows that like she doesn't come in when I'm there.
So you are anti-animals in bed and yet have an animal in your bed often.
She only sleeps on the far side of my husband away from me. Like if she knows that if she gets near me, it's not going to work out.
He sleeps between us. You guys are like, yeah. You have to share him.
Yeah. It's just like we know our roles. We all know our roles. And her role is like she's allowed on the far side of the bed from me only when my husband is there and lying still.
Yeah, that sounds like you've come to a good agreement.
All my kids learned to swim when they were little. It was super important to me that they be confident and safe in the water. There was only one problem with that, taking them to swim lessons. I mean, the pools were freezing. There were always cranky adults doing laps right there. And it was definitely not, for any of us, what you would call fun.
Amy, heard. But now there's Goldfish Swim School. Goldfish takes a really thoughtful approach to swim lessons, combining research-based teaching with a warm, kid-friendly environment that actually helps kids thrive in the water.
Every detail at Goldfish is thoughtfully designed to create a golden experience, from shiver-free, warm indoor pools to comfy waiting areas for parents to professionally trained lifeguards on deck.
Goldfish uses an approach called the science of swim play, which combines guided play with proven teaching techniques to help kids learn to swim, build water safety skills, and gain confidence all at their own pace. Lessons are designed to meet kids exactly where they're at.
If you've been thinking about swim lessons or just wondering where to start, this is a great opportunity. Right now, Goldfish Swim School is offering a waived membership plus your child's first lesson free at participating locations.
Just visit goldfishswimschool.com/free to find a location near you and enroll using promo code FREE.
That's goldfishswimschool.com/free, promo code FREE.
Hey there, I'm Kendra Adachi, and my show, The Lazy Genius Podcast, helps you be a genius about the things that matter and lazy about the things that don't, and you get to decide what matters. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to give you a new way to see. Episodes of the Lazy Genius Podcast are full of compassionate time management tips and permission slips to do what makes sense for you. New episodes drop every Monday. Follow and listen to the Lazy Genius Podcast on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
And now, the kinds of moms you'll meet on social media.
From the What Fresh Hell podcast.
The cheerleader.
You are killing it, Mama. Don't let anyone tell you you are not killing it. Who hasn't forgotten to pick a kid up from school? So it was 3 times in a week? You know what I say? You're doing it, and we love to see it.
The one who doesn't seem to know about Google.
Can someone tell me when daylight savings time ends?
The it all goes by so fast, Mom.
Your baby threw up in every room in your house while you had a yeast infection and your husband was away on a month-long work trip, you say? Well, I say, cherish these moments, Mama. They fly by so fast, and you'll miss them when they're gone.
The delete if not allowed, Mom.
I know the rules say I can't post pics of my kids' faces or stuff about politics or stuff about my business, but here's a picture of my kid holding an advertisement for my business, which is deeply and controversially political. Please delete if not allowed.
The reluctant husband basher.
So my sweet, darling husband, who is God's ultimate gift to manhood, I just adore him, but I keep fantasizing about feeding him into a wood chipper when he chews or breathes.
The lurker.
I am sitting here very quietly, never speaking, and judging you all.
This has been the kinds of moms you'll meet on social media.
From the What Fresh Hell podcast. Okay, here's a debate in my family I'd love to know your opinion on. I think we're 3-2 in our family of 5, split decision on this. When you have apps open on your phone and you're done using them, do you need to swipe up and close that app? Or is it okay to have like 36, ghost apps running on your phone and you clean them up, once in a while?
The correct answer is that the last thing you should do before going to bed at night is close all the apps on your phone.
Oh, now that's interesting.
But all day they stay open. But I do, but what kind of monster could fall asleep with 45 apps open on their phone? Not me.
I just never even think about it. And then once in a while, my daughter will grab my phone and be like, I can't believe you have this many apps open. And she's, fervently close. And then my teenager, he said, I close it as soon as I'm done using it.
No, I don't even know how to do that. I don't even know how to do that. I have to click on the thing on the bottom and then swipe up 30 apps or whatever I've used during the day. But that's part of my bedtime ritual is shutting my apps.
That's your bedtime. That's your shutdown ritual, huh? Close the apps. Close your eyes.
Yeah. I'm and good night you and good night Twitter and good night Postmates. And I just go through them all. Good night email.
Everyone.
Good night calculator. I don't know why I used you, but good night.
Barometric pressure calculator.
Yeah, I like to get it all clean.
All right, I'm going to try that.
Amy, here's Olivia. I like this one. It's not a choice. It's a multiple choice, but I like this.
Okay.
I don't know if this qualifies as a debate, but my husband and I are constantly in disagreement over which winter month is the most horrible. Husband is team January. I am team February, 1,000,000%. I'm going to say that there's room for March in this debate, too. I mean, March can be the worst because you're like, no, we're done. So I saw someone on Twitter be like, this is the month where we all pretend it's 30 degrees warmer than it is. Because it's true. I haven't worn a coat in 2.5 weeks, and yet it's 30 degrees and freezing.
Yeah, my daughter wore white capri jeans yesterday and a summer t-shirt. And it was, I think, 25 real feel as she went to the bus.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how we roll on the East Coast. It's no, it's over.
I would have said January is the worst because it's right in the middle and you have so far to go. But now, after we talked about that third quarter phenomenon last week, I think maybe February or maybe March. I don't know. It's all bad.
February is definitely the worst in my book. Yeah. As you know, we have a whole philosophy that you're not allowed to decide anything in February because February is the worst. January, for us, we still have a couple days where we're still on break usually. And then I don't know. January is it's going to snow. I don't know. It still feels like winter's fun. February is just misery.
Yeah, I think, Olivia, we side with you that it's February.
It's February.
Team February. This is one I really want to know the answer to. I mean, I think I do, but I want to make sure we agree.
I'm sure I know it, so go ahead.
Is it rude to invite yourself over to other people's houses? Leanne says, we argue about whether or not it's impolite to invite yourself over to someone's house, a non-bestie, she clarifies. I was raised never to invite myself over, and my husband thinks it's fine.
I am team, but I'm going to get pushback. I know. I'm team. It's okay to invite yourself over. But there are parameters. Again, this is our fancy restaurant. I don't invite myself over to randos' houses, but especially with kids, I feel that it is okay. But I'm sure there's people who think I'm really rude. I feel that it is okay to say can my kid come over after school? Because you live right next to school and can he stop by and play with your kid? But I realized looking back, as I remember, like, this is like a sitcom, like where you're remembering things and you're seeing it with new eyes and you're like, oh no. Like, I definitely, like, we used to bring cookies through the neighborhood. And once a neighbor like really yelled at me for ringing her doorbell and I was really put out. And I was like, oh, I guess that is kind of weird to randomly ring people's doorbells.
And leave cookies? You rang her doorbell and like left cookies? I don't think that's rude.
Well, I think they were sleeping. I don't know. They weren't pleased.
Was it before 9 a.m.?
It was 3 a.m. No, it was like the afternoon, but I don't know. I live in a house now that is off the street. And so we don't have a sidewalk. Like it would, if someone rang my bell, it would be like either the doorbell murderer or FedEx. Like there's no one who's just ringing my bell. Like you have to kind of work to get into my driveway.
It's like the house phone now, right? Like who's calling me? Who is ringing my doorbell?
Yeah. But I think this has gone very out of fashion. I like the idea of like just dropping by. There is a guy who's got an Italian name and he does the whole bit about company. I'm going to find it and you can link to it. You'd be like, my mother would be like, company's coming. Get out the good bread. It's company. If someone were to stop by, it was like, get out the good dessert. Don't touch the intimates. That's for company. And it's like a whole long bit. And that nowadays, when the doorbell rings, he's like, everybody get down, get lower, get your heads lower than the couch. The doorbell ringing is the most terrifying thing that can happen. If you haven't watched it, please take 3 minutes out of your day. You will laugh yourself silly. I think that it's fine to stop by, but I get why people don't like it.
People are saying don't go by uninvited. I mean, I agree with that, but inviting yourself over to me is different than ding dong, hi, I was in the neighborhood. This is like, especially if it's like, can we come by and see the new baby? Let us know when we can stop by. Let us know when we can, my son really wants to see your new puppy. Is there a time we can come by? Like that seems to me to be fine, but maybe not like, hey, what are you doing tonight? Can we come over? Instead of us hosting you, can we just come to your house?
This is like a huge cultural shift. Exactly. It used to be something that people did. Like, oh, I'll just stop by. I was in the neighborhood. And yeah, I mean, if somebody just stopped by my house for a visit, I would be horrified.
Yeah.
And I think when people have like family and stuff, it's like, this is a different expectations thing. Basically, don't stop by places uninvited. I think that's the right way to go. And the thing is, like, my house is usually a mess. I have friends. I remember we live in the cut of town. Like I drove by a friend's house and they were out. So we stopped, a friend of my kids, and we stopped and said hi. And, oh, come in and have a cup of coffee. And I was like, your house looks like my house looks when I've known for 3 weeks that people were coming. Like, it's like if someone just stopped by my house, I would be embarrassed by how messy it was.
That's the problem, right? Because we don't do it. Now, when you do have somebody come over, it's like, you know, standards are high.
It's a thing. Amy, does food go down the garbage disposal?
Don't have one, but if I did, yes, it seems to me to be what it's for, literally what goes in it, if not food.
Natalie says, whether or not to put food down the garbage disposal, why the heck do we have one if not to put food down it? Seriously.
You mean don't put garbage in it?
I never understood this. And then I had a landlord in Los Angeles who I made butternut squash soup. So I peeled the peels off of it and I scooped all the seeds off of it. And I was like, oh, I have a garbage disposal. And I shoved it all down the garbage disposal. And he was like, if he had come up and found like 30 murdered puppies in my apartment, he could not have been more appalled. He was like, what have you done? Like, who would do this? And I really was like, it's a garbage disposal. I guess garbage disposals, like dishwashers, it's not like you just eat half a lasagna and then put the pan in the dishwasher. Like, that's not what it's for. Now, maybe there are people who do that, but please don't come to my house. And like, yeah, this guy's face, like, and I remember my husband came home and I was like, this guy like freaked out like I'd murdered someone when he saw how much food I put down the garbage disposal. And indeed, my husband was like, yeah, you're insane. You can't put like an entire banana squash down the garbage disposal.
They seem kind of like hothouse flowery to me, and I don't have one, and I'm not sure why I'd want one, I guess.
I don't like them. Now we're on a well and a septic system, so we don't have one anymore. And I'm hugely relieved to not be dealing with one. Again, it's like they're gross. And then, yeah, I was constantly like grinding up lemons in it and trying not to make it smell. I'm not a fan of a garbage disposal.
Right. And once the food is down there, then you have to address it. Yes. You have to like deep condition your garbage disposal. Just say no.
I'm going to say my town, and this is like Enviro, and I love it. They have started food waste recycling. So we now get rid of all of our food waste into like a little bin, and then we have to bring it somewhere. It's like a little bit high maintenance, but let me tell you, everyone should be advocating for food waste recycling because, again, now the food, it's not in my garbage smelling bad. It's not in my sink. It's not in my dishwasher. It's in the food waste recycling. And it's like the gross thing goes out of the house once every 3 days. And it's the greatest. It's life-changing. I love it. I don't know how I lived before food waste recycling.
They're trying to get it going in my apartment building. Again, apartment building living and, hold on to your food scraps and then take them to a place in the building. It's, it's problematic, as you might imagine, although some people are into it.
But if you get a good bin, yeah, I mean, because you deal with the building, you have to deal with it on the waste side too. But it's gross, but it's worth it.
Here's something I really think we need to discuss, which is, are the Lord of the Rings books good or not? Lillian says the books are the best thing ever. Her husband says, no, they're drivel, but he likes the movies.
I have no vote here. I'm a no vote. I think I read The Hobbit when I was a kid, but this was not part of my life. And I'm sorry if this hurts people, but I've never seen the movies and I don't really know what the books are about.
I've only read The Hobbit. No, that's not true. I've read a couple of the Lord. It didn't really speak to me. I think, it's the sort of, Game of Thrones without the, NC-17 stuff. And that either speaks to you or it doesn't, like lords and battles and stuff. Not my thing. I've seen most of the movies because we actually have a family friend who was involved in the production and I enjoyed the movies very much. Maybe I want to go to New Zealand.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that whatever fantasy. I mean, fantasy can mean different things. It can mean Fabio without his shirt on. Fabio is such an old deluxe alert. Back in my day, Fabio. It can mean bodice ripper, but fantasy when you're talking about elves and orcs and sprites and dragons. The minute I see that stuff, I check out. I'm that is so not my thing.
It's exhausting to have to learn a whole cosmology, right?
And it's funny because it's so my husband's thing. He's the guy who, on Game of Thrones, every single person who walked on screen, I'm who's that? And he's that's Earl of Elkdom. Don't you remember? He's the guy who made the sword for the guy's cousin. I'm I barely remember you. I definitely don't remember this guy
yes.
who made I need them to wear football jerseys with a number on the back so I can help keep track of them.
We watch Game of Thrones with subtitles on, which sounds like we're so elderly, but it actually really helps because when they're Lord Florian, how do you spell that?
It gets in your brain.
Yeah, you can see it. It helps a little bit.
I think fundamentally, you could give me a whole family tree guide thing with everybody. And then I would just look at it and be I think the problem is I just don't care who any of these people are. It's fine. I kind of watch it. It's I catch it every once in a while and then I come out of it and then I catch it again. And I'm oh yeah, this guy. But I only care about 6 of the characters out of 300. So it's not the most enjoyable for me.
Let's bring it home with Angela asking this important question. When do you use a fork or a spoon for various meals? She says, cup of noodle, that you should use a fork.
Well, I'm sorry, Angela, but you're insane. I apologize in advance.
What?
But what?
Ding. You're wrong. No, cup of noodle is a spoon.
I guess you could use both, but not one.
If you have access to both, it's probably not a bad idea. But if you only had one, it has to be a spoon.
Correct.
Chili, she says, use a spoon.
What kind of monster? Of course, a spoon.
Right. Okay. Yes, the sky is blue. Mac and cheese, use a spoon.
She says spoon. Again, so wrong. It's a fork.
Yeah. Her kids are confused.
Eating mac and cheese with a spoon over the age of 2 is unacceptable.
She says my kids are very confused, as they should be, Angela, because I don't, what algorithm?
No, I'm sorry, Angela. Team your kids. I believe, someone should check on those children. You're eating cup of noodle with a fork. My God, Angela, what has gone so wrong in your life?
I hope you've learned something today, Angela, if you're listening.
I hope so, too. I mean, my husband and I, and one way to solve a lot of these problems, my husband and I have extremely different opinions about what should be eaten in a bowl or a flat plate.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. And I've just decided to let it go. He likes to eat Chinese food in a bowl. I like to eat it on a flat plate. I like to eat spaghetti on a bowl, only in a bowl. Any kind of pasta goes in a bowl, but he likes it on a flat plate. And I'm just if you want to chase noodles around with a fork on a flat plate, that is your problem.
You need those big bowls with the wide sides. I know what I'm getting you for your birthday, this sort of bowl plate-ish thing.
Oh, no, I have those. It's a pasta bowl. I have them. But then it's a whole other, there are certain ones I like in a tiny bowl. I have a lot of feelings about containers and what should go in them.
We'll talk about those. We'll have a containers episode.
That'll be a whole separate podcast, guys, because I hope you've all learned a lot today. And I hope some of you have changed your ways. And I hope some of you will sit down with your husbands tonight and have some really hard talks.
Yeah.
About never using the phrase a nacho again.
Nacho.
Just to name a few. Friends, you can check out everything about this episode in our Facebook group. And do us a favor, guys. If you have not reviewed this podcast, please, please do. That is the easiest way for new listeners to find us. And new listeners are what helps our podcast grow and go.
You can swipe or tap wherever you're listening right now and give us a couple of stars. We'd love it.
Love it.
Smash that like button.
Smash that subscribe button. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll talk to you next time.
So long.